Okay, the first song I'm going to sing is called Haida Land. Okay, so here we go. When the wind blows in the valley and the sun shines on the grain, there I'll find you by the ocean. There I'll see you by the stream. And you'll meet me open-hearted, and you'll greet me with a smile, and I'll call you my beloved when the autumn winds blow so wild. You're my love, dear, you're my angel that sat softly on my shoulder, and you whisper, darling, I love you, when the evening comes in the dell. When the doves fly in the forest and the eagle soars over me, we both go down to that valley where the ghosts of the Haida sing. And the moon will light our way, dear, and the stars will draw us nigh. In the dew-kissed morning hour, there my love and I will lie. And you'll kiss me with your eyes, dear, and you'll take my pale white hand, and together we'll embrace, dear, in the valley of Haida Land, and together we'll embrace, dear, in the valley of Haida Land. Well, I was born in England, and I came to Ontario first, and then I came out here to BC. I've always been interested in photography since I was a little girl, and also writing. I was always very good in school in writing stories and so on. And so I find that it's a form of self-expression to write anything, poetry or anything like that. So I've always had a liking for all of that, and doing the photography as well, especially nature photography. I have been using my 35mm camera in the past, and then I was given this iPad from the March of Dimes and SRABC, which I'm really grateful for, because then I can take pictures really up close inside of flowers and tulips and things like that, inside the center of them, and especially inside of things like the tulips and rose mallow and things like that. It's really interesting to see the things in that close up. And then ones of the tulips I actually took in here in the apartment. And and I think that even with the lighting not being that great in here, the photographs came out really good. So with the iPad, so um, with writing, I've done a lot of different types of writing. I continue to write the newsletter for our Delta Stroke Recovery Group. I've written pieces for Senior Living magazine, also the PMIA, which is now the Music BC. I've written some things there, and and for me, it's self-expression. It's it's kind of therapeutic. I don't like journaling, but writing something, a song or a poem or something like that, it's very and it's very therapeutic. I like the fact that poems are much shorter. I like reading. I like reading poetry, so because it's shorter. It's not this big long book like Charles Dickens or something. A lot of times it could be something that's happening in my own life, me trying to deal with it. Or in the case of doing the Pauline Johnson CD, I love her poetry. She's one of my heroes. And I wanted to write music to her poetry. And so I put out a CD for that. And I was very honored to be asked to sing at her birthplace in Ontario at Chiefswood Museum. So that was a very special time for me. And it was the coolest thing I think I've ever had happen. So that was wonderful. And I had that on the back, that idea on the back burner for about 7 years. And when I had the 2 strokes back to back and survived, I made a decision that I had to do that CD and put it out. And I sold as much jewelry and silver spoons and things like that so I could get money to be able to record it. So I have that CD, and I have a previous CD as well that I did pre-stroke. And I always like folk music, so because it's very expressive, it's very well written. Not into rap, in other words. My songs are very poetic. You can recite some of my songs that I wrote, especially on the Eyes of the Angels CD. With photographs, I take nature. So a lot of time, it's just having an eye to be able to see something that strikes your fancy. Like the one of the raccoon, for example, that was in Stanley Park, and I had my camera there, and I had a plastic bag I was carrying with stuff in it, and there was a bunch of raccoons all around, and I think this one raccoon thought I had food in the bag, because I think people were feeding them. And so I put the bag down, and I crouched down and made myself really small, and he stood up on his hind legs, and this was not a baby, this is a full-grown one, and looked at me, and I just went click and just snapped the photo, what we call a grab shot. And it's one of my best-selling ones, and it's the one I love the most because I love his face and his whiskers and everything, and he's looking right at me, so I really like that picture. And the one of the iguana I have, it's the same thing. It was taken at the butterfly gardens in Victoria, and there was a whole pile of people around this iguana, which was about this big. It was really big, and I waited. And so you have to sort of be very patient when you're taking nature, anything in nature, especially animals, and birds and things. Anyway, so all the people went away, and I crouched down again, made myself small, and he came over to me, he or she, and I took that picture. It's a beautiful picture because you see all his scales and on his face and his claws. And he's sort of looking right at me, sort of like on the side like that. and I was looking at him and took the picture. So a lot of times it's when the opportunity arises that it's just having that vision, I guess, is to see things. Which, and speaking of vision, it was interesting that my brain bleed I had was in my visual, both of them were in my visual cortex. And I temporarily lost my vision in my right eye. I had double vision in my right eye. And so the fact that it got better and I can still go around and take photographs, I think is really important. I've also went around when we used to have the 7 o'clock and everybody was banging pots and pans out here. And I thought, this is history. So I went out with the iPad and I put the video on and I filmed everybody doing that. And then I also filmed people. I have hearts on my window right now for support of the first responders and so on. And I went around and took all the pictures of people's windows too that had hearts and rainbows and things on them. And I thought, it's history. Hopefully this is never going to happen again. It's necessary for me to really be creative, and it's very therapeutic as well, and meditative, especially playing guitar. It's very meditative. So that's been helpful in stroke recovery. So and that I could still do it, because when I was in hospital, I remember I was in for 2 months, and I remember for some reason pretending to hold my guitar like airplay, and I could do this with my fingers. So I was just elated because I knew, okay, I can still go home and I can play my guitar and be my own one-man band. and it's very helpful. So, because it's my passion, writing and doing the photography and playing music is my passion. So to be able to still keep doing that was important. Having the iPad has been very useful as far as being able to take pictures here and there. Also, the things that had changed is being able to get from point A to point B to do a gig, for example. Can't do any now because of COVID, but mainly because my guitar is so big and heavy, and having to lug that on the bus and the train and go downtown. One of my problems that I have with having the stroke is that I have chronic fatigue a lot and short-term memory loss. This is why I have my cheat sheets here for my music. Just mainly that. I think that's I think just pacing myself, and being conscious of my body, and if I am tired, to just take 5, have a cup of tea, take 5. There's the one of Ladner Harbor. It's called Red Ladner Harbor, and it's the harbor master's house, and it's snowy. And there's the boat that has a bit of red in it. I have another one that's Cold Harbor. It's a sunset picture. That's in the auction. I love that picture because it's very peaceful, and there's a reflection in the water. And then there's that big tall building that's got like a third of it is gold on the top, and it kind of reflects in the water. I love that picture. The one of, I call it the Eye of the Dragon. I took it to Rifle Bird Sanctuary, and it is a piece of trunk, a dead trunk that had, and it's like the outside, the bark, and it had a hole in it, and you can see the greenery and out of focus through it. So I turned the picture landscape, and I thought it kind of looks like a dragon, so that's why I called it Eye of the Dragon. But I really love that. I love the detail of that picture because you can see where probably there were little insects inside. There's these little trails inside. So there's that one. And I got another one, Lost Lagoon Bridge, and that was in the snow. Of course, inside the flowers. So it's tulips and mallow, rose mallow. This one's the song my paddle sings. We talked about that, so here we go. This is a poem of Pauline's. West wind blow from your prairie nest, blow from the mountains, blow from the west. The sail is idle, the sailor too, a wind of the west. We wait for you, blow, blow. I have wooed you so, but never a favor you bestow. You rock your cradle, the hills between, a scorn to notice my white lateen. Sleep, sleep, by your mountains deep, or down where the prairie grass is sweet. Now fold in slumber your laggard wings, the softest song my paddle sings. August is laughing across the sky, laughing while paddle canoe and I drift, drift where the hills uplift, on either side of the current swift. And up on the hills, against the sky, a fir tree rocking its lullaby. Swings, swings, its emerald wings, swelling the song my paddle sings. West wind blow from your prairie nest, blow from the mountains, blow from the west. The sail is idle, the sailor too, wind of the west. We wait for you. This one is called Day Dawn. So it's on both of my CDs. It's on the Pauline one and it's also on the first one. So let's go with this one. So here we go. Sorry. Yesterday, the thought of you was resting in my soul. When sleep wandered o'er the world, the very thought she stole, to fill my dreams with splendor, such as stars could not eclipse. And in the morn I awakened with your name upon my lips. On my lips. Awakened, my beloved, to the morning of your eyes. Your splendid eyes, so full of clouds, wherein a shadow tries to overcome the flame that melts into the world of gray. As coming suns dissolve the dark that veils the edge of day, edge of day. Cool drifts the air at dawn of day, cool lies the sleeping dew. But all my heart is burning, for it woke from dreams of you. And all these longing eyes of mine look out and only see a dying night, a waking day, and come on all but me. But me. The night is gone, beloved, and another day is set free. Another day of hunger for the one I may not see. What care I for the perfect dawn, the blue and empty skies? The night is always mine without the morning of your eyes. The night is always mine without the morning of your eyes, of your eyes, of your eyes, of your eyes. I've been working for a few years on this project, and I don't know if I'm hoping I can finish it, because it all costs money, right? So, and it's, I wanted to do a book of poetry, of my poetry, along with some photographs to enhance that, but also do a CD of some of the songs that I wrote that didn't make it to the 2 CDs. So just to wrap it up, that'd be my 3rd album, and that would be it, and that's it. So it's an ongoing project because it's time consuming. I've just moved to Lawson, so I've gone through a whole pile of files, and they're all over the floor here. It's good that you can't see this place. And I found all this poetry, and I'm like, oh my God. So it's having to be really, really strict with myself and really selective with the poetry, because there's so much of it. And also the songs. I've got a shopping bag full of cassettes of myself just playing anything, so there's probably a whole bunch of nice tunes that I can use, write a song to or something. So that's kind of something I'm working on. That's going to be my winter project, I think, just to sort it all out, and then pick things and be very strict with myself in what I pick. But that's a project I'd really like to keep working on. When you've had a stroke, or anything actually that's medical, one day at a time. That's all you can do. Focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do. There's going to be stuff that you can't do, but focus on what you can do. And what was the other thing? Be kind to yourself.